Fragments of Eternity by Christophe Degout. Strange stories between life, death, and the unknown.
Fragment 5. The last one. Standing. The gong echoed one final time, and silence fell over the arena. 10 of them stood in a circle, feet locked onto stone blocks, frozen like human statues under the pallid glare of the floodlights. But they weren't mere competitors. They were pieces on a giant chessboard, figurines suspended in a game whose rules they had yet to learn. No breath was to betray weakness, no twitch was to signal surrender. For centuries, this competition had existed in the shadows. It was not a test of strength, nor a mere demonstration of will. It was a rite of passage, a relentless sieve, filtering the souls deemed worthy of entering a society unknown to the world. A society that shaped the fate of those who, unknowingly, followed the rules it imposed. Mark had reached his 6th hour. His muscles ached, his mind battled numbness. He knew he wasn't the strongest physically, but he had something others lacked: familiarity with the void, with nothingness. He had spent his life watching, fading into the background, letting the world move without him. This competition was made for someone like him. He stood there like a knight ready to leap, while around him, the others held their positions. The unyielding rook, the unpredictable bishop, the cunning queen. Each participant embodied a force, a style of play in a match whose outcome would be fatal for those who failed to hold their ground. To his left, a woman in a dark suit, her features blurred by exhaustion, slowly tipped forward. Her knee struck the ground with a dull thud. 2 figures emerged from the shadows, instantly, and carried her away without a word. Mark would never see her again. He didn't even know her name. Hours passed. The light did not waver. The air remained stagnant, and stillness became torture. Some fell into oblivion, and then only 2 remained. The other was a man with a monolithic presence, a massive rook, anchored to his stone block, whose eyes betrayed no pain, no doubt. Yet Mark sensed a change, a subtle beat, a nearly imperceptible tremor. And so, he did something he would never have dared in another life. He smiled. Not an arrogant grin, nor a mocking one, just a smile of understanding. The man saw it, and that was enough. His foot slipped by a millimeter. The gong struck. Mark was the last one standing. The floodlights shut off at once, plunging the arena into darkness. Then a voice rose, everywhere and nowhere at once. Checkmate. The shadows stretched, swallowing the stone chessboard beneath his feet. Mark felt the ground vanish, not as a fall, but as a passage into another reality. He had won, but the game had only just begun. Around him, in the shifting dark, new stone blocks emerged. 10 new silhouettes appeared, their faces masked by ignorance of their fate. Another board, another match. The voice rose again. The game begins anew. And Mark understood there was no end, no final victory. Every checkmate opened the door to a new round, a new confrontation. Those who won didn't leave the game. They became its architects, its strategists, the new figures in an eternal cycle. He took a deep breath, stepped onto a pristine square, and prepared for the first move of the next battle. And the world he once knew ceased to exist once more.
Fragments of Eternity is a dive into the imagination where ink strokes become stories and sketches, worlds. Narration and voices generated by 11labs.io. Royalty-free music 50sounds.com.